Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Inner Journey Weather Forecast, in which we utilize archetypal astrology to understand the energies in the collective and how they might show up in your psychedelic journeys this week, your spiritual practices. My name is James Moran. I'm an archetypal astrologer. We have a very exciting Mars-Jupiter opposition this week that I'm going to tell you about. But before I do, I just want to let you know that next week I'll be starting a class which is called the Fundamentals of Archetypal Astrology as a Spiritual Practice. Now, this won't be for everybody, but it will be for some number of you viewers who are interested in becoming archetypal astrologers, whether you're a beginning astrologer or you're familiar with astrology, but you want to practice archetypal astrology, which is the practice of using astrology to map out the psycho-spiritual growth of an individual, of yourself, of a collective culture. And the focus is on psycho-spiritual clarity and the path, the kind of our path in life, our path, our meaning, our spiritual practice. And so using archetypal astrology as a map to our kind of our deeper unfolding, our spiritual unfolding, this is what we're going to be learning. And it's not just a class of learning how to develop your own archetypal astrology practice. It's actually going to be a journey for you of very deep transformation, encounter with the divine in life, in your very own personal life, and within you, the encounter with the divine in you. Really an experience, a very transformative experience. It's a 9-week course. It's starting next week. Again, it's not going to be for everybody that's hearing this message, but a few of you listening to this message, your intuition's going to just whisper something to you, and you're going to feel attracted to this opportunity. You're going to know that now is the time for a deep transformation inside yourself, both the transformation inside yourself and a broadening of your perspective of the world and of reality. So again, it's called The Fundamentals of Archetypal Astrology as a Spiritual Practice, and it's a 9-week course beginning next week. And we are going to explore how to give astrology readings, how to read a chart upon sight, how to have a transit practice, which is what we do here, how to understand the rhythms of the cosmos and align your life with them. And we're going to explore the deeper questions of you personally. What is your what's the map to your depth? And also, what is larger questions like what is reality? What is creation? What is at the core of your life? And how can astrology illuminate that? So if that intuition is lighting up, your spidey senses are lighting up, your ears are pricking up, then click the link below in this video and join the adventure. It's for all you psychonauts and spiritual adventurers out there. Okay, great. So this is the week of the 25th to the 30th, and we are experiencing a Mars-Jupiter opposition right now. And how does that show up? In the psychedelic journeys, I'm going to share with you Archetypal Explorer so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see this Mars-Jupiter opposition. It's already happening. It peaks around mid-late week, and we're well within it. And it showed Mars is the archetype of forceful action, of a kind of a galvanization, a vitalization, and Jupiter is the archetype of expansion, success, the heights, the abundance, the high ideals, the expansivity, the royalty, the upper echelon. These are all Jupiterian things. And so when Mars and Jupiter are combining in a tense alignment like this, then we can, especially in our, for instance, psychedelic journeys and our spiritual practice, we can connect with a kind of an uprush of energy around our ideals. You can think of Mahatma Gandhi, born with Mars-Jupiter alignment, and his whole life was about fighting for high ideals, fighting Mars, high ideals, Jupiter. And so there may be a sense, a kind of an awakening within us of the ideals that matter to us, and a kind of a bravery that opens up within us, that we find within us, and a motivation that gets us up off our butts so that we can take action this week. Challenges to look out for are the desire to do too many things. So the doing, the activating is Mars, and Jupiter is that expansivity, that abundance and superabundance. So we can feel a rush of energy, but we want to be careful that we don't have as the goals, that we don't have too many goals that we're aiming that energy at. So just be aware of that. Sometimes we can feel, for instance, psychedelic journeys and spiritual practices, we might be in a journey itself and feel like I'm going to do this and that and this and that and this and that. And we have a whole palette of different things that we want to do. That's the Jupiter. Jupiter likes abundance. It likes to have an expansiveness to it. So keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with feeling like we got an abundance of energy and that we want to have an abundance of goals. Just keep it in mind, because this energy isn't permanent necessarily if it's not in your birth chart. So it's a transit. So just know that whatever you get done, tap into yourself, dig even deeper into your intuition and your guidance mechanism within and the rhythms of life, and get done whatever you're meant to get done, and kind of motivate yourself to be a warrior on behalf of whatever ideals really call to you. And the process itself, even if we do try to get too many things done, the process itself can be the learning experience of what really matters to us. What are the things, what are our real ideals? What are our real aspirations and heights and lofty goals? So that's our Mars-Jupiter opposition this week. That's probably the transit that has the most oomph this week. It was there last week. How'd you feel? How did it show up for you last week? It's more exact this week, but it was definitely there last week. So how did it feel? Write in the comments of this video. I want to hear about it. And I wish you a week of activation and beautiful unfolding of your own psychospiritual growth. And I hope that you can connect to and feel all the support in the universe that is there for you, inside, outside, everywhere. The stars reflect it. The events reflect it. There's something inside you too. This me talking to you is your own voice, is your own life rather. This is your life happening. You're watching me talk, but it's your life transpiring. So these words, these are my words, but that's also your life speaking to you, motivating you, telling you, keep at it. You are supported, you're loved, you are celebrated. So stay at it. And if you want to become an archetypal astrologer, check out my course. Click on the link. If you want to take the next 9 weeks and have a real encounter with the divine, the sublime texture of divinity that is actually real in our everyday lives and inside ourselves, and have a very transformative, important period of our life during these 9 weeks, in which we learn a lot about the universe, how it works, about us and how we work, but even more importantly, we transform ourselves. And click on that link, send me a message if you have any questions, and let's connect. Thank you so much. Again, I'm James Moran. Have a wonderful week.